Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very sad day. A day we all knew would come eventually, but a day we all thought we could avoid. Today is the day that we filmed the final podcast. But enough of that sob story crap. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, school is coming to an end, and while it is generally a time for sadness, more so probably for the seniors rather than a majority of the student body, but it is also a time for happiness, especially if you're part of the student body, because I mean, gosh darn it, you get vacation for 3 months! But from the perspective of a senior, this is a very sad time because you're essentially departing from a whole group of people that you spent your whole entire life with thus far. And not only is that kind of sad, but it's also kind of terrifying and that is exactly what we are going to be discussing in this final episode of the Panther Podcast. And with that being said, hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jacob Perrett, and I've been giving you a quality broadcast since 2014. So let's do this one more time. So what some of you guys may not realize is that I'm a very nostalgic person. So I was like, hey, it'd be kind of fitting to look back on the very first interview that I ever did with the Panther Podcast and see how much has changed since then. I mean, because believe it or not, I wasn't always this handsome. And now with my time watch of the time continuum, we're going to go back to the very first interview. Can you give us your best impression of a crab? Not much has changed. Alright, so now what you're about to see are a few questions that I asked a couple members of the class of 2016 regarding their plans for after graduation and their favorite high school memory. So, here you go.
My plans are to go to Edinburgh and major in computer science.
I plan on going to Edinburgh University, and I'm not too sure what for yet.
Getting after it.
Go to college and not fail.
What is your major gonna be?
Network and system administration.
Going to work,
Where are you gonna work?
Montana Steakhouse.
I plan on attending Geneva College, and I am majoring in elementary and special ed.
Stark State in Ohio.
For what?
Emergency Fire Services.
I am going to do heavy equipment operating. So there's that, yep.
Sweet.
Starting that in like August.
When Adam Mosier crapped his pants at band camp.
When Logan Weed sat in a chair and broke it.
Definitely the senior banquet, because it's when our whole class got together and was basically like, this is it guys, we're done. And it was very emotional, so I like that a lot.
When I was on the Carnegie science field trip and I puked all over myself and Jacob witnessed me do it and wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the day.
Well, I'd probably have to say the time I got a gun pulled on me at a rock quarry because we ran over a guy's call that wasn't existent. He was actually cooking meth. It was really good, yeah.
And now before I sign off, one last time, here is an exclusive interview with Mrs. Stacy Hetrick, the journalism teacher and advisor over at Sagertown High School.
You need to remember that way more goes right in a day than goes wrong. And the sun comes up every morning and you're still sucking air, and that's pretty swell. The thing that sets this journalism class apart is the end of the year, the way that you have pulled together to do this senior issue. It's been the best end of the year that I think we've ever had as a journalism class. You feel like my family, and I haven't had to cry, I haven't had to call in sick or pretend that I can't do my job, and I salute you all for that and the leadership that you've brought to this final task of putting out a senior issue. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, students and staff, it has been a pleasure being your broadcast director for the past couple of years, but now is the time that I pass down the mantle. And at this time, I really hate to say goodbye to all you guys, so I'm just going to leave you with a thank you for tuning into this episode of the podcast. This is your host, Jacob Perrett, signing off, and I will see you in the next episode.